If we define like masculinity as being not in touch with your feelings, I think that masculinity has helped my mental health in a way of protecting myself in certain where I was maybe denied something or somebody didn't think I was good enough. Then maybe it's some kind of self-confidence to like it's their problem. You're pushing it away from yourself. It's not me, it's them. I think maybe masculinity can have that way of affecting people.
Probably in a good way and bad way. I know it's not good, but good way, like in a way where it made me stronger, but bad in a way where I cannot express myself.
As of now, I would say it hasn't affected me that much, but when I was growing up, it really did, because I felt like I had to, always show that I was strong and feel like I had to push away the soft side of myself, knowing that was who I was. And I feel like that really damaged me because, like, as sometimes when you come across people and you try to develop these connections, it's very hard to open up. And I feel like, growing up, it was hard to communicate those feelings. So growing up, it made it even harder to, navigate these kind of roads.
For me in high school, I was in a very masculine-dominated sport, which was football, American football specifically. A lot of the time, it's like dudes being like trying to be better than each other instead of like lifting each other up as a team.
Sometimes you think of yourself as the alpha person you are, and that sometimes bring out the worst in you, because you react and you answer back in a certain way instead of just relaxing and thinking about it and go like, wait, that person was on the wrong, but I should not be on the wrong to make it correct, right?
I think it impacted my mental health the most in elementary to middle school when I was trying to find out who I was.
I would say that it has had a pretty big impact when I was like in high school, for sure.
In high school, there'd be people who would see my feminine side and actually want to fight me. Like they would, physically kind of like hit me in the shoulder during PE, because I guess, PE was such a masculine thing. You're supposed to like show how good you are physically.
I did not have a lot of friends when I first entered high school. Like I was in a whole new city. I was trying to make a lot of friends, but I didn't really know how to. So I tried to fit with the stereotype, and I never really felt like I was a core part of it. Mostly because I still lived in a small town. Like I went to back and forth all the time, and I felt like all these guys were on some other level than me.
Being in groups, it kind of like just like amplified that whole like men are grouped together, whereas like I didn't really fit in with that. So I was always away with the girls, and that always showed all my peers who were men like, oh, he's an outlier, he's weird. So they would call me fag.
And they lived in the city, they were cool, I was not. Later on, like when I was 16 or so, also realized, I might be gay actually. And that at that age I was like, well, I don't feel comfortable sharing that with the people of this group yet. Like maybe once I don't have to be friends with them or see them every day anymore. But if I'm dependent on them and I'm not sure if they'll allow it or agree with it, then I don't feel comfortable like telling them that. I think in that sense, maybe it was toxic masculinity that kind of stopped me from sharing that.
I would actually get into physical fights with them, and then I would come home with knowing that I just fought a guy who had an issue with me being gay, and I wouldn't tell my family because my family didn't even know I was gay, and then that just amplified everything. And I wouldn't say it really made me like mentally unstable, but it did cause conflict in my life where confusion was.
Well, I know now, like all the people I knew back then, they didn't care. They don't care now, and we're still very good friends. But at that age, it was different, I think, because you didn't really know what it would be like if you were open about that.